I'm about to share with you what has changed the lives of the highest performing people I've ever worked with. Olympians, world champions, Hall of Famers, CEOs, mothers, entrepreneurs. And it's changed my life also more than anything I have ever taught. And here's what I want to say up front. This is not a motivational video. I'm not going to tell you to believe in yourself, and I'm not going to tell you to manifest. I'm not going to hand you a bunch of feel good language and send you back into a life where nothing actually changes. What I'm going to do is walk you through a mechanism, a thing that is happening in your brain right now, most of the time, that you don't even know is happening. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. And once you can't unsee it, you have real power over it. The mechanism has a name in my work, and I call it the silent thief because it is stealing your life while you are still living it and you don't even know it's there. So let's get into it. I want to tell you about a piece of research that stopped me in my tracks this week. It's from Lyubomirsky and Ross. It was published in 1997. They took a group of students and they gave them a word puzzle to solve. And they measured how satisfied every student felt with their performance afterwards. And here's what they found. And I want you to really sit with this. The students who finished the puzzle fast, the actual quick finishers, but who compared themselves to the very fastest students in the room, walked away dissatisfied with themselves. The students who finished the puzzle slowly, but who compared themselves to the slowest students in the room, they walked away satisfied with themselves. And these researchers noticed something else. Those slower students basically ignored that the fast finishers even happened, even existed. Same puzzle, same performance, two completely different emotional experiences. The only variable was who they looked at. So now I want to, you to hear what that actually means, because I don't think most people understand what that study is actually saying. It's saying that your feeling about your life is not being produced by your life. Your feeling about your life is being produced by the comparison your brain is running against someone else's life. So take that in for a second, because it means that most of what you are suffering about right now, most of what feels heavy or behind or not enough, is not being caused by the thing you think it's being caused by. It's being caused by an invisible comparison running underneath everything all day long that you didn't even know was running. That's the silent thief. So now I want to tell you what's actually happening in your brain. Because when you see the mechanism, the whole thing clicks. So there is a network in your brain called the default mode network. Neuroscientists have been studying it for about 20 years. And this network is responsible for what they call self-referential processing, which is a fancy way of saying it runs the story of you. It's the part of your brain that goes, how am I doing? Where do I fit in? Am I keeping up? Am I enough? Am I ahead? Am I behind? Does she have more than me? Does he have more than me? Am I where I should be at my age? Am I where I should be at my stage? That's the default mode network. And it runs, this is the wild part, most of the time you're not doing anything. When your mind wanders, when you're driving, when you're scrolling, when you're in the shower, when you're falling asleep, that's the network firing. And now here's the thing that's going to really blow your mind. When you are in flow or the zone state, when you are deep into something you love, when you are in the zone playing your sport, when you are having a real conversation with someone, when you are actually in your own life doing the thing you're doing, the default mode network goes quiet. Neuroscientists can measure this with fMRI, the self Referencing stories stops running. You're just here. And when they measure people in hypnosis or in meditation or in prayer or in real presence, same thing. The default mode network goes quiet. So here's what that means in real language. Your brain literally cannot run, am I enough? And I am here at the same time. They use different circuits. They are mutually exclusive, which means every moment of your life is being spent in one of two places. You are either in your actual life or you are ranking your life against somebody else's. There is no third option. And most people, and I include myself in this is not me lecturing to anybody. Most people are spending the vast majority of their waking hours in the ranking room, not in their life. That's the silent thief. It's stealing the actual experience of your actual life while you're still alive to live it. So I want you to really understand what this is costing you because I don't think most people do. And once you feel it, you'll do something about it. So here's what the silent thief is stealing from you right now. It's stealing your peace. Every time you scroll and you see her house in your chest then tightens. That's the thief. You had peace 30 seconds ago. You have less peace now. Nothing about your life changed, only what you looked at. It's stealing your body. Every time you look in the mirror and hate what you see, the body was fine an hour ago before you saw a photo, right? Your body did not change. The comparison changed. And now your body feels like the enemy. It's stealing your performance as an athlete also. Athletes, every time you check the leaderboard between shots, every time you glance at your competitor's scorecard, every time you run their numbers in your head, you leave your body and you go into the ranking room. And the next shot is being executed by a brain, the region of your brain that has never trained the skill. That's why you leaked the shot, not because you're bad, because you weren't there. It's stealing your relationships. Also, every time you compare your marriage to hers, your kids to hers, your husband to his, you are not present with the actual humans in front of you. You are grading them against people who are not in your life. It's stealing your success. The founder who compares to a billionaire feels like a failure. The same founder compared to where he started 5 years ago feels like a rock star. Same career, same numbers, same year, but one version of him feels defeated and the other version feels alive. And the only difference is the reference point. It's stealing your time on this earth. And this is the one that gets me because your life is finite, right? Not infinite, it's finite. And every hour you spend in ranking room instead of in your own life is an hour you do not get back. It's gone. You're not going to get to the end of your life and wish you had ranked yourself more accurately against strangers on the internet. I promise you, right? You, what you are going to wish is that you had been here in your body, in your kids' lives, in your husband's arms, on your course, in your business, at your dinner table. Your own life is happening right now, and the thief is stealing you out of it. I want to tell you when this stopped being theory for me and became personal. So early in my career, I was working with an athlete who was extraordinary, right? Physically talented, deeply talented. And this athlete was losing to people they were physically, that he was physically better than. And I remember sitting across from this athlete and I asked one question. I said, "What were you thinking about right before that miss?" And he got quiet. And then he said, "I was doing the math on her card. I was thinking about whether I could still catch her, not the target, her." And in that exact moment, I understood what I had been circling for years. This athlete's body was still there, but their mind had left the field and gone into the ranking room. And you cannot execute a precision skill from the ranking room. It is mechanically impossible. So that moment reshaped my entire career because I stopped trying to help people perform better and I started teaching them how to stay in their own life while they performed in their body, in the shot, in the moment, out of the ranking room. And what I saw over and over and over again for the next 25 years is that when people learn to do this, everything shifts. Their performance goes up, their peace goes up, their relationships get closer, their body feels different to them, their money grows. Not because I gave them a technique, because they came home to their own life. And that's some great work. That's what I've dedicated my career to. So now I want to be honest with you about something because there is a lot of advice floating around out there about comparisons, and most of it doesn't work. And I want to tell you why. You you've probably heard don't compare yourself to others. You've probably heard stay in your lane, or you've probably heard comparison is the thief of joy. You've probably heard just be grateful. But here's the problem with all of that. Those are conscious commands issued to a subconscious pattern, and they do not work at that level. Your subconscious mind picks the comparison for you automatically before you even know it's happening. It was trained to do this. It's in the habit of doing this, either by a parent or a coach or by a culture that told you your worth was measured against something specific. And now, decades later, your brain runs that comparison without asking your permission first. You cannot willpower your way out of a subconscious pattern. You can catch it after it fires. You can notice it, but you can even choose a better comparison consciously in the moment. And that helps. But the pattern that keeps generating the comparison in the first place, that lives underneath the conscious mind. That's where the actual work has to happen. That is why stop comparing yourself doesn't work. That is why gratitude journals stop working after a week. That is why you can read every self help book on the subject and still feel like garbage after 15 minutes of scrolling. The mechanism is running below the surface. You have to work below the surface. And that is what I do. That is what I have built my entire framework around, not the surface, underneath it. So let me tell you what working underneath looks like because I want you to understand what real transformation is. It's not the pop psychology version, it's real transformation. It is when the pattern that used to fire automatically stops firing automatically. It means you scroll your phone and you don't feel that tightness in your chest because the comparison isn't running the way it used to. It means you walk into the tournament and you don't check your competitor's scorecard because your brain isn't reaching for it the way it used to. It means you look in the mirror and your first thought is not, I hate this, because the reference your body that that it used to be, that used to be preloaded in your mind, it isn't there anymore. And it means you close on a huge business win and you actually feel it instead of immediately looking at the person one rung above you and feeling behind. That's what real work looks like. It's not, I'm trying really hard not to compare. It's the comparison isn't there in the same way anymore. And that is not spiritual mystery. That is subconscious rewiring. It is the difference between telling yourself a new story and installing a new pattern where the old one used to live. And the tool I use for that, and this is why my framework works when others, approaches don't, it's hypnosis, specifically targeted hypnosis paired with a step-by-step framework that unwires the old pattern and installs a new one underneath. That's what I do. That's the whole thing. Not talk therapy, not motivation, not a 5-step morning routine, real subconscious rewrite work in a structured framework with the tools that actually access the layers where the patterns live. At the same time, learning how to use your mind more efficiently through what I call mental training. So I want to be really honest with you about why I'm making this video right here. The silent thief is stealing everything from a lot of people right now. And most of them don't even know it. They think their life is the problem. They think if they just fix the body, fix the marriage, fix the business, fix the score, then they'd feel okay. And they are pouring years and years of effort into fixing things that were never the actual problem. So, meanwhile, the thief keeps stealing because the comparison mechanism keeps running underneath everything they do. And every win gets swallowed by the next comparison. And every loss becomes evidence of not enoughness. And they wake up 10 years later, exhausted from a fight they were never actually in. And I don't want that for you. If you're watching this, you're the one who's ready to see the thief, and you're the one who's ready to do something about it. I've been building this framework for over 25 years. It's the same framework I use with the top athletes in the world, the same framework I use with high achieving executives, the same framework I use with women who are exhausted from measuring their lives against the internet. It works because it goes underneath the pattern instead of trying to reason with it from above, in conjunction with learning how to use your conscious mind more efficiently. And I want you to have it. So here's what I want you to do. Go to dawngrant.com right now, or as you finish this video. And when you get there, you're going to see the different areas I work with. There's athletes, success, high achievement, stress and mindful living, weight loss and wellness, shooting sports, golf, and the Mind Mastered, my hypnosis app. So pick the one that's calling you. It doesn't matter which. The framework underneath is the same because the mechanism underneath is the same. Whatever door you walk through will bring you into the work. When you come inside my program, here's what you're going to get. You're going to get my complete 21 lesson mental training framework, 21 deep dive video lessons, about an hour and a half each, walking you step by step through unwiring the exact patterns we talked about today, using your conscious mind more efficiently. This is the framework I have built over 25 years working with the best in the world, and I've never released the whole thing anywhere else in the format I've built it in for my students. So you get lesson specific hypnosis audios because, and I said this earlier, the conscious lessons teach the pattern, and the hypnosis is what installs the new pattern where it actually lives. And this is the piece that makes the work stick. You get Mind Master Collective, which is my private community where you get direct access to me, group sessions, and a community of people doing this work alongside you. You get monthly Dialogue with Dawn Q&A lives where you bring your real situation and I coach you on it directly. And you get the full archive of years and years of past dialogue, those monthly Dialogue with Dawn Q&A calls. So hundreds of hours of me answering questions and coaching people through exactly the kinds of patterns that we talked about today. That's the whole system. The lessons teach it, the audios install it, the community holds it, and I coach you through it. And it is the same work I have done with the top of the top, and it is now available to you. So I want you to hear this last thing. Your one life is happening right now, and the thief is real. And the thief will keep stealing from you until somebody teaches you how to catch it, how to unwire it, and how to come home to your own life. And I can teach you that. So go to dawngrant.com, pick your door, come inside. Let's get to work. I love you guys, and I'll see you inside.